Today, in this video, you will get the complete walkthrough build out of a lead magnet inside of ConvertKit, and then taking that form and integrating it into a website, and how to handle new subscribers that opt into that form to get the lead magnet, follow-up sequence, and convert into your paid product. I'm Jason Resnick of NurtureKit, NurtureKit.co, and as I always say, if you treat your email list like humans, amazing transformations will happen. This video is part 2 of a workshop that I held for a client's community. And in that first part, which I will link up below, I walk you through the strategy, the process, the website flow, and the subscriber flow too of someone who gets that lead magnet. I also talk about the positioning of the lead magnet inside of your business so that it does convert into sales. Now, if you haven't watched that video, I suggest you do so, because there may be questions that come up during this walkthrough that you're gonna wonder, well, what happened here? Why is he talking about this? Well, those are answered in that first video. So if you're ready, let's dive on in. So as we build out this lead magnet flow, the first thing we're going to start with is the form. So we're going to go into the landing page and forms area and create a new form. Now, if you don't have a website, that's okay, because you can actually, inside of ConvertKit, use a landing page for all of this. But then you're going to be limited a little bit on the delivery side. You would need a page somewhere where you could build out that offer. So what I'm going to do is assume that you have a website, and we're going to build out this flow. So first thing we're going to take care of is the form. And then that form, when it gets submitted, it's going to bring that person to the thank you page. Okay. So let's build the form. It's going to be an inline form because we're embedding it on the website. So I'll just choose the simplistic one here. It's called Claire form. I'm going to actually change the name. Now I have a video on how the naming conventions that I use. So I'm just going to put in lead magnet. I'm just going to abbreviate it for dads. And we're going to just say that this is a specific landing page that it's on. Okay. And then I'm going to actually add in first name. Now, I always like to add in first name because, one, it's acceptable these days for somebody to understand that they need that, like to give it up. So adding the first name isn't going to reduce the number of submissions. Now, yes, as you grow your form with other things, yeah, people aren't going to want to give it up, but first name is always good to do. And then I just make it required. Email is always going to be required. And then we're going to actually change subscribe, because nobody wants to subscribe to anything, right? So let's just say download your exercises. Download your routine. Okay. You could change this to the branding that you have. So I'm actually going to use my branding that's on my website. And then you could play with this any way you need to, but you know what? This looks good. So I'm just going to click save. Now, the only other bit here that we're going to do is, one, we're going to go into the settings and swap out the success message for a redirect. Now, I don't have that page built out yet. We're going to do that in a second. But so I'm just going to put that in for now. Okay. And then the final bit is because I do believe in the driver philosophy, which I do have another video on, you can go ahead and essentially auto accept everyone. I'm not going to send the email, because when I have that driver philosophy, that driver automation in place, it's going to take care of the double opt-in for me. So the form doesn't necessarily have that. If you don't have that in place, then certainly make sure that you are sending this incentive email. It's going to benefit you in so many ways. There's a double opt-in versus single opt-in video that you could go ahead and check out. That's best practice, okay? So I'm actually going to turn this off, okay? Then save, and then we're done, right? We're going to click save, and then I'm actually going to grab the embed here. Now, depending on the platform that you use, and so I use a tool called UMSO for my website. Definitely not WordPress. It's what I mean by definitely not WordPress is that, look, UMSO is tiny. And so I can go to show you how easy this is just about any website. And so if you use WordPress or another tool that is more popular, it's even easier than this, okay? So let's go ahead and dive into that. So I'm going to log into my back end here, which I've already done. And I'm going to create a new page. Now this page is, let's just do, hey dad, lose 2 pounds in 7 days, right? I don't want that, the name, that's going to be rather large. Let's just say dad, let's just say dad routine, right? We'll call it the dad routine. Okay, so I'm going to add a page. Now there's a blank page. Obviously it gives me a nice headline to start off with, which is always nice. So let's just go ahead and use that because that's part of the image that we've got, right? Let's just say gain more energy and lose 2 pounds in 7 days. Okay, so that's a great head start. I'm actually going to add a feature now in this platform. It's basically an image on the side and then description on the right or left, however you want to lay it out. But I'm going to go ahead and use that image that I downloaded before. Boom, and it's there. Okay. So then we're going to actually go ahead and swap out some of these headlines and such, right? So we're going to basically just build out the page. Simple routine that takes 10 minutes every single morning for 7 days, right? And you could work on the copywriting. This isn't a copywriting exercise here, but what I'm going to just kind of quickly gloss over here is sell the benefits of this more so than the actual features, right? So you want to, like, the benefit here is that it's low impact exercises, maybe no equipment needed, right? So those sort of things, right? And so let's just say for the sake of this, it's there. Then finally, the embed code. So you're going to look for inside of your platform, what you want to look for is a way in which you can actually put the code that ConvertKit gives you into it, right? So I'm going ahead to do that, right? I'm actually going to then publish this and we can take a look at it because the platform doesn't actually display the code. So if I go here, you can actually see, okay, perfect. Hey dad, gain more energy, lose 2 pounds, blah, blah, blah. Here's my imagery. Here's my feature. Here's this. I can remove this if I want to. I could probably center this. Actually, I do know that I need to center it in a certain way in my platform. Now, there's going to be hiccups and things like that. It's just a way to mess around with your platform in order to do that. So I'm just going to leave that here because that's platform specific. I want to actually just show you the walkthrough more so on the ConvertKit side of things. So now that we've got that page built out, what I'm going to actually do is create the thank you page, which is essentially the same structure. If you have congruency through your lead magnets, it makes it so much easier. So what I'm going to do is actually just duplicate this page. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this page. It says that I duplicated it. Dad copy. I'm actually going to change the name because I don't want it to be copy at the end. But I'm just going to put thank you, Dad. right? So now I actually have that. Now I'm going to just remove the that section for the code, and then I'm actually going to just remove the section for the feature as well, right? Really, what I'm going to do is awesome. Go check your inbox. Now, if it doesn't appear in 3 minutes, let me know, right? And then you can kind of just even add in what I call are like freebies, right? Like this is a free opportunity where you can actually inject next actions, right? Follow me on social media. You know, check out our new program. You know, here's how you call us. Get on our SMS list. Those sort of things. This is a freebie page, right? It's resources. It's a received page and real estate that you can use to generate more next steps with that person. Okay, so you can go ahead and use that. But let's go back into ConvertKit here. So we have this form here. The next step really is all about the automation side of things. So we're going to go into rules and add a rule. So again, the driver philosophy says that you make a form, you have a rule, gather up the form, and then pass that a driver tag so that the driver tag gets picked up by the automation. And the big reason for that is if I use this lead magnet in other places and I want to track it in a better way, I'm going to create other forms to do that. And the visual automation has a limit of 5 triggers. Okay, so we're going to say if somebody submits that form, I'm going to create a new tag, and we'll go to start dad routine welcome. Right? Boom. Done. And then in the automation itself, what I'm going to do is create a new automation. And again, if you are questioning the naming conventions, I do have a video on that. But basically, the naming convention is action hyphen context hyphen meta. So action is a verb, the context is the noun, and then any meta information is optional information to further describe what is going on. So in this case, we're actually going to send that lead magnet, and it is the top of the funnel. So I always abbreviate that with TOF. And then I'll just say submitted dad's routine, and that's it, right? So this is the verb, and this is the noun, okay? And then the tag that was there is start, right? Start dad's routine welcome, right? I probably would hyphenate this because in case of anything else that I might want to run, welcome might be the meta information. But for this case, I'll just leave it as such. Then I'm going to use a D&D tag, which is a do not disturb tag. This is so that if somebody is coming through here, they're not going to get my broadcast messages. I want them to concentrate on this and this alone. But the next step is inside the custom field. I always have a custom field called in welcome, and I set that to true. Now this is a custom field that is essentially a status of where this person is in the business. And so I want to know at any given time how many people are in the welcome sequence. This will tell me that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and send off the email sequence, right? So let's just do welcome, right? I have a welcome series. And then once off of the welcome series, I just create a delay for a day because this welcome sequence goes over the course of several days in a row. So I'll just give them a little bit of a break. And then finally, we're going to reset and do a little bit of housekeeping to just, let's blank out the welcome, the welcome field, which I couldn't just leave it blank. It's just not that the app itself isn't going to understand that. So this little notation here, which is just curly brace, and then quote, space, quote, and then end curly brace, that is basically a space. And this is called liquid code, and it does that. And then we're going to remove the D&D tag, okay? And that's it. Right? So this is the automation that happens. And now once the sequence is here, if you have a sequence, great. If you don't, it's time to write one. But inside this sequence, you're basically delivering the lead magnet that they get, right? And you deliver that through creating that page on your website. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Now, as I said, I can actually I want to keep that consistency. So if I look at routine, right? What I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to duplicate this page. Duplicate this page, dad routine copy. Awesome. So what I'm going to do here is, okay, and then I'm going to actually just remove that because let's give them the buttons, right? I'm going to remove this feature section because I don't need that anymore. But what I'm going to create is a CTA section. Where is that? Which is really just buttons, for lack of a better term. I'm going to move that up. And you know what? I can probably remove this, right? And let's just say download your routine. And then this is where your next offer happens, right? Book a 20-minute call, or you can say, buy my free, purchase the 30-day routine, right? Whatever that next step is for you, that's what you want to put right here. Your offer. If you have a video that describes what the download is, but then leads into the offer, that's the next level. That's advanced marketing. Definitely put that on this page. But you can see here is you want to then deliver the lead magnet, which sits on the one button, which is download your routine. I'm just going to put a PDF here, or by 30-day, right? And then you can lead them to that product page or sales page. And then finally, again, well, we don't need the custom code here. We'll delete that section. But then you can go ahead, and again, it's free real estate. So here you have that download and you have that next step. And then inside of your sequence here, the first email is going to be about downloading the asset that they just came into, the lead magnet they came into. And then the subsequent emails after that, again, point them back to this offer page. You want to then go ahead and have them think about what's next. And you do that through a sequence of emails talking about when they get to that first transformation, what is it that the next thing with you can achieve for them? Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. You can see that now we have a proper flow. We've built out this entire flow where you have the opt-in form that leads the person into your email list, but drives them to a thank you page. That thank you page then drives them back to that email. And then there's a sequence of emails that lead somebody to that next offer. When you set that up, you have now the mechanism to bring people to this opt-in in a way that drives them deeper into your business to convert them to sales.